Three, two, one.
What is up, party people? Today we are giving my first impressions on the Samsung Galaxy Buds. And what are the Samsung Galaxy Buds? Well, they're Samsung answer to the Apple AirPods, because the Apple AirPods are actually everywhere. They're just tremendous in their popularity. So Samsung was like, I want a piece of that wireless pie. So the Samsung Galaxy Buds came out just a couple weeks ago, February 20th, and they start at $130, and they're pretty weird and interesting and kind of not impressive. Starting with the design of the Galaxy Buds, it kind of looks like a big bulky circle, which is like a hearing device coming out of your ear canal. I know this is just my opinion, but it doesn't look as good as Apple AirPods. Apple AirPods has a definitive form factor. The Galaxy Buds kind of just like sticks in your ear, and we'll get to the issues with that in a second. But there is an external microphone and an internal microphone. The external one is for like some type of ambient mode, which is found on many noise canceling headphones, and that uses the microphone to enhance the sound that's coming from outside. But I was using my iPhone X to test these out, so I didn't have the app to use the ambient mode, so that's one downside. The Galaxy Buds so far, if an app doesn't come out on iOS, is kind of hardware limited. And I have to say, with this $130 price tag compared to the $160 with the Apple AirPods, Samsung had to cut some corners, and one of those corners was the IR sensor. So when you take out one Galaxy Bud out of your ear, the music doesn't pause. But hey, at least it has a touchpad on the headphones itself, so you touch it once to play pause, touch it 2 times to go forward, touch it 3 times to go previous, which is a nice trackpad. But overall, I'm gonna give you my issues with these because there's a lot. For one, just continuing with the design, they have a silicone tip at the end, and this is that rubber tip which you really kind of have to wind into your ear to position it correctly, because if you don't position these Galaxy Buds correctly in your ear, you're not going to get the maximum sound quality. And talking about that maximum sound quality, it just sounds so tinny. It doesn't sound too strong in any general area. I mean, it kind of has that passive noise cancellation, which is much better than the AirPods, which is kind of wide open into your ear. But still, overall, the sound quality, the bass is slightly more than the AirPods, but those vocals and the treble is just so tinny. It sounds like $20 headphones, which really kind of disappointed me. I thought the sound quality was going to be on par with the AirPods, but the sound quality is just subpar, and very, very subpar. And this next issue is kind of my fault, but always the Galaxy Buds were starting to just disconnect and go from spotty connections with my iPhone X. So around like every minute or so, the Galaxy Buds would just cut off for like a millisecond and just come back. And maybe like sometimes the Galaxy Bud would like one was playing and one was not, and sometimes they were just like milliseconds off from each other. So I don't know if that's a Samsung compatibility problem, because I'm using an iPhone and I don't have the app, so I can't even try the ambient mode. So maybe it's my fault, but really with these Galaxy Buds, you do not want to buy them for the iOS platform. Just stick with AirPods and stick with those reliable AirPods 2, which are now improved for the same exact price. So Galaxy Buds for me is just a clear no for $130. I thought it was gonna have some potential. The sound quality was gonna be there with that passive noise cancellation. That ambient mode was interesting, but with an iPhone you can't even try that. And overall, the silicone design with those rubber tips, it's just so hard to put into your ear. You really have to just wind it until you get that perfect spot to get the perfect sound quality. And overall, they're just disappointing. I really had these high hopes and they didn't meet it at all. And nonetheless, the only decent part, or I say good part with these Galaxy Buds, is the charging case, but there is some exceptions to that, of course. The Galaxy Buds case could, yes, charge with your Samsung S10 and on a wireless charger, which is good, but Apple just released AirPods 2 with that capability for $200. So, but the charging case does charge USB-C, which I do like. But still, even with those good things, the charging case just disappoints. The magnets where you place the Galaxy Buds inside the case is just not that sturdy. The magnets are kind of weak, and also there's no magnet for opening and closing the case. So you really actually have to put manual effort compared to the AirPods, which has this wonderful magnet which you could use as a fidget device, but it just opens and closes so easily. For the Galaxy Buds, you have to do it manually, and when you put them in, you really have to position them correctly to get the magnets to line up perfectly. With AirPods, you just drop them in and don't have to worry about them. But with the Galaxy Buds, there's a lot of disappointing things, except for the case charging wirelessly and USB-C. But that's really it. That's the only upside I could see, and it coming in a black and yellow color. Other than that, Apple AirPods beats it in every other way, and I am dead serious on that. The Galaxy Buds were seriously disappointing.
3, 2, 1.
Bite down.